first final that we have tonight is the men's 200 meters freestyle for the S2 classification. This is an S2 event, but we do have some S1 swimmers swimming up in this event. Swimmers that have been on the medal podium already in the first 2 days of competition. This young man, a couple of bronze medals to his name already. Anton KOL from Ukraine in lane number 2. PALAMARCHUK from Ukraine. Itzhak MAMISTVALOV, he will go in from the side, so not at the end of the lane, but that was Dmitrii KOKAREV, the favourite for this one, the world record holder in lane number 4. MAKRODIMITRIS from Greece, well, he's entering the pool from the side too. And there's MAKRODIMITRIS. SHALABI from Israel, just making his way along there to lane number 6. There's the swimmers, you see. This is the S1 and S2 swimmers, the most severe impairments in the Paralympic swimming programme. So typically will be affected in all 4 limbs. That's MAMISTVALOV. 3 swimmers entering from the side of the pool. The others will make their way over the timing pads. In lane 8 we see there Christos TAMPAXIS of Greece. That's MAKRODIMITRIS making his way over to lane number 5. He will be one of the favourites for this one. He's one of the fastest times this year, and he was a silver medalist in the last European Championship, so one to watch out for. But there's Dmitrii KOKAREV, world record holder. Set that world record only in May this year. 4:28.44. MAKRODIMITRIS. An interesting style with the starts, Giles. The coach is holding the feet of the athletes against the timing pads.
Yeah, not allowed to add any propulsion to their swimmers, merely holding the feet on the touch pads, and then they just release, and the swimmers start the forward motion with their arm strokes. Interesting styles there from lane 4 and 5. The double arm backstroke there of KOKAREV, world record holder and European record holder, as Paul said there at the start of the race. Very, very much the favourite for this race. 200, the longest distance for swimmers in this classification, at the bottom end of the classification spectrum, those with more severe impairments. But he does very, very well to get his arms over and get them jammed into the water there, and really employs that power really well, Paul, to keep that stroke turnover as high as it is.
Well, the tempo is quite high on the first 50. KOKAREV, how's he going to get on that turn? Oh, he's very close to there. Oh, dear. Not the best of turns for Dmitrii KOKAREV, but he's out of the wall. Better turn for MAKRODIMITRIS. But KOKAREV is away and into his stroke. So KOKAREV leads. MAKRODIMITRIS in second position, I think, at the first turn. A long way to go, though. Third place, it could be PALAMARCHUK from Ukraine down there in lane number 2. But KOKAREV is looking pretty good so far as they approach the 25 metres to go until they reach halfway.
Well, as you could just see there on that close shot, the bobbing action that KOKAREV gets as his hands clamp onto the water at the top of the stroke, and then they come through the acceleration as they pass his rib cage. There we can see he does actually quite a good job of keeping that head bob to a minimum. Now, any action in swimming, any action at all where you're going up and down, that's going to be slowing you down in terms of going forward. Second turn now. Makes a better job of that one, I think, than the first one, Paul. First one was a little bit scrappy. That one a lot more workmanlike. Hit the wall, span round and started moving away. MAKRODIMITRIS, very smooth around the wall.
Yeah, Yeah, that's helping him stay in second place, because it wasn't a great turn from PALAMARCHUK over there in lane number 2. PALAMARCHUK was in very good form on day 1 of these championships, taking the gold medal a little bit by surprise ahead of KOKAREV, but KOKAREV came out very strongly yesterday when he was challenged. The times that were swum in the heat, KOKAREV didn't qualify as the fastest time, but he came out in the final and really showed them who's boss, and he really means business here. The world record, well, it stands at 4:28.44, and this is bang on schedule for a world record swim for Dmitrii KOKAREV. A lot of these swimmers will be affected by their limbs, their legs dragging in the water, but KOKAREV doing a good job there, staying pretty much on top of the water as he comes up to the last turn. Getting a little bit close to that turn, but he's out again, and he's away and into his stroke, and he looks like he's heading for home and for another gold medal swim for Dmitrii KOKAREV.
He is, well, he's still going well. His stroke tempo has dropped slightly from that opening fast tempo 50. You can see it's markedly slower than it was, and also as well that right hand of his now is actually skipping out of the surface of the water as it comes through. A great big power of splash. That's all wasted power that's not going into the water. Obviously, as he's getting tireder, his body position is sitting slightly lower in the water. As the hands come through the acceleration phase, he's actually popping through the surface of the water.
He has now 15 meters to go. Dmitrii KOKAREV on his way to another European title and another world record swim potentially. We might be seeing here the clock ticking over at 4:15. The world record was 4:28. That is going to be smashed. Dmitrii KOKAREV has claimed the title with a new world record by over 6 seconds. And what a superb swim that was from Dmitrii KOKAREV of Russia. PALAMARCHUK from Ukraine has eventually got ahead of MAKRODIMITRIS, who held second position for a long time there in that race. It'll be the silver to PALAMARCHUK and the bronze to MAKRODIMITRIS in a time, well, 2 times, 4:35 and 4:37. But no doubt about the winner, KOKAREV, 4:22.06, 6 seconds better than the previous world record.
Well, that was also a fantastic swim for silver from PALAMARCHUK of Ukraine. Massive improvement on his best of 5:21, finished in 4:35.
Remaining swimmers just coming in. Of course, the result, it's not official, but in a freestyle race, it is unusual to have disqualifications, but we have to wait for the official result to come in. Anton Cole coming in 7th position, and that is Christos TAMPAXIS in lane number 8. Coming in now. They are just tidying up the minor places here, the way they did finish. KOKAREV, PALAMARCHUK, MAKRODIMITRIS, SHALABI was in 4th position, ahead of his Israeli teammate MAMISTVALOV. There is Christos TAMPAXIS in there, and there is the new champion, the world record holder, Dmitrii KOKAREV.
Well, this is the final 50 of KOKAREV's world record-breaking swim, and coming in now into the final closing stages. You can see that right arm popping out, but in the end, it didn't do him any harm. I think that the record-breaking swim really started off so well with that high stroke turnover. He really, almost as if his coach had said to him, look, just go out, forget about the pacing or anything like that, just go out there and see what you can do.
Well, the record for the 50 freestyle was 58 seconds as of yesterday, and he went out the first 50 in 59.88, so very close to a 50 world record pace. His first 100 was 2 minutes and 6 seconds, and he came back in a 2 minutes 16, so a little bit of a drop off, which you would expect. We saw the tempo reduce there. He really went out fast, but he did manage to maintain that. The swimmers exit the water. These swimmers with generally with cerebral palsy.
Yanked out there by his coach.
Goodness. Dmitrii Kokarev wins the gold in a new world record time. PALAMARCHUK from Ukraine in the silver medal position, and MAKRODIMITRIS from Greece will take the bronze.